Hello, I'm Father John Waters. I'm one of the priests of the Archdiocese of Birmingham. I've been a priest for just about 18 months now, and I've been asked by the vocations team if I just say a couple of words about my experience training for the priesthood and what life as a priest is like at the moment. So I got the idea of becoming a priest when I was 17, and then there was a while of hoping it would go away and trying other paths in life, which is never a bad thing to do, to see if something else brings you happiness and fulfillment. But as happy as I was, I still couldn't get away from the idea of joining the priesthood. And so at the age of 23, I entered the seminary. Much to my surprise, the Archbishop sent me abroad for all of my training. I went to the Royal English College in Spain for a year, and then I did a 7-year course of formation at the Venerable English College in Rome, which they were all very, very blessed years of many graces, challenging from time to time, but then nothing in life that's worth doing comes easy, does it? I think what I particularly treasure about all the years I spent in training, and particularly the fact that I was abroad for so much of them, the region in Spain where I was living and training is a region that has produced many, many saints in the Church's history, and of course so many other saints have passed through Rome throughout the Church's history. So I was given the incredible opportunity to walk almost literally in the footsteps of saints, to go and visit places where saints had lived, had worked, had encountered God in their own lives, and it helps to make the saint seem so much more real, so much more accessible to us. And I try now to pass on stories of those saints when their feast days come up, and I give the parishioners here in Birmingham a little homily about the saint. Try and explain something of their life. Maybe if it's a saint whose home or whose workplace I've been to visit in the course of my training, try and explain all of that and give a slightly more sort of real picture to the saint, if that makes sense. Nowadays I'm back in the church in Birmingham. I'm here at St Dunstan's Church in King's Heath, and also helping out with the on-call rota for the local hospital. I will say that the time abroad and that closeness to the saints has helped give me courage to be generous with responding when I'm needed at the hospital. Saints, particularly the martyr saints of both colleges, both the Royal English College and the Venerable English College, were men of great courage, men who underwent awful persecution because of their beliefs. And having spent so long walking literally in their footsteps, if I'm called into a high-risk ward, perhaps the COVID ward or critical care, and maybe I'm a bit anxious about heading in there, a quick prayer to one of the martyr saints for a share in their courage is a great application of everything that I experienced abroad. So I do hope that that's helpful to anyone who is considering a vocation. I would say, just as a final word of advice to those considering a vocation, you have absolutely nothing to lose by considering and exploring a vocation, whatever that vocation is. But particularly in terms of the priesthood, either your vocation is to be a priest and you train and you get ordained, and that brings you the greatest happiness you know because you're doing God's will for your life, or your vocation is something different and you don't train for the priesthood and you embrace whatever else your vocation is, and that brings you your happiness, that brings you a sense of peace and of doing God's will. So no matter whether or not you have a vocation to the priesthood, it's always worth exploring all the options that vocations bring, because you have absolutely nothing to lose and your happiness will be found at the end of that journey. God bless.